What if the one thing ruining your peace isn't a person, a job, or even social media, but the need to be right all the time? That's what almost destroyed Noah's life at 28, until one fight with his little brother made him drop that need like a hot rock and finally breathe again. Noah was the guy who always had to win. Not sports or money, just arguments. Big ones, small ones, didn't matter. If you said the sky looked blue, he'd pull up the exact hex code to prove it was #87CB. If someone said a movie was good, he'd list every plot hole in order. If his girlfriend said she felt sad, he'd explain why her feelings were technically not logical right now. He didn't yell. He just stayed calm, talked slow, and buried you in facts until you gave up. People called him smart. He thought he was helpful. Everyone else started walking on eggshells around him. It started small when he was a kid. His dad left when he was 9, and the only thing that made Noah feel safe was knowing stuff. If he knew the answer, nothing bad could surprise him. School rewarded it. Straight A's, debate team captain, teachers saying Noah will go far. So he doubled down. By high school, he corrected teachers in front of class. By college, he had a reputation that people either loved or avoided. Friends joked, "Don't say anything around Noah unless you want a 20-minute lecture." After college, he got a good job as a data analyst. Meetings were his playground. Boss said sales were up. Noah pointed out the numbers were skewed because of one holiday. Coworkers suggested a new tool. Noah listed 17 reasons it would fail. He got promoted fast because he was usually right, but nobody wanted to work with him. They'd email instead of talking. Lunch table got quiet when he sat down. He noticed, but told himself, they're just jealous, or they can't handle the truth. Dating was a disaster. He'd meet someone amazing. Things would be great for 2 weeks. Then she'd say something slightly wrong. Pineapple belongs on pizza. And he'd spend the whole night proving her taste buds were broken. Girls stopped texting back. One lasted 6 months and broke up with him in a Starbucks saying, "Noah, I feel like I'm dating Google with abs. I need a boyfriend, not a fact checker." Even with his family, it was bad. His little brother Ethan, for years younger, looked up to him growing up, but by 25 they barely spoke. Every holiday, Noah corrected Ethan's stories, his job opinions, even how he held his fork. Mom begged Noah to stop, but he'd say, "I'm just keeping him sharp." The stress of always being right started eating him alive. He couldn't sleep because his brain replayed every conversation looking for mistakes other people made. His jaw hurt from clenching. He got stomach aches before any social thing because he knew he'd have to set someone straight. He drank too much at parties to quiet the noise, then felt worse the next day. He was lonely but convinced it was everyone else's fault for being too sensitive. The breaking point came on a random Saturday in July. Ethan was in town for their mom's birthday. The whole family went out for dinner. Everything was fine until Ethan told a story about his new job. He got a detail wrong about the company. Tiny thing, literally didn't matter. Noah interrupted mid-sentence. Actually, that merger happened in 2021, not 2022, and it was Company B that bought them, not the other way around. Ethan's face fell. Mom kicked Noah under the table. Noah kept going with more corrections. Ethan put his napkin down, looked Noah dead in the eye, and said, "Dude, I'm not your student. I'm your brother. Can you just let me have one story without turning it into a TED Talk?" The table went silent. Noah opened his mouth to defend himself, and nothing came out. For the first time in years, he had 0 facts ready. Ethan got up, said happy birthday to Mom, and left the restaurant. Mom started crying. Dad wouldn't look at him. Noah sat there feeling like someone punched him in the soul. He paid the bill and drove home alone. For the first time ever, he didn't replay the fight to prove he was right. He just felt sick. He sat in his car in the parking lot and cried like a little kid. Not dramatic tears, quiet, ugly ones. Because in that moment he saw it clear. Being right had cost him every person he loved. His brother just wanted to feel heard on their mom's birthday, and Noah made it about winning. Again. He texted Ethan, "I'm sorry. You were right. I was an asshole. Can we talk?" Ethan didn't answer for 2 days. Longest 2 days of Noah's life. When Ethan finally replied, they met at a park. Ethan was cold at first. Noah didn't defend himself once. He just said, "I've been using being right as armor since Dad left. It's all I had to feel safe. But it's pushing everyone away and I don't want to lose you." Ethan started crying too. They hugged it out like they hadn't since they were kids. That night, Noah did something insane. He opened his notes app and wrote a new rule in giant letters. Choose the relationship over being right. Every single time. Then he taped it to his bathroom mirror. He started practicing the next day. Tiny stuff first. Co-worker said a stat wrong in a meeting. Noah smiled and nodded. Friends said a movie came out in 2018 when it was 2019. Noah said nothing. Girlfriend he started dating said the moon was made of cheese as a joke. He laughed and kissed her instead of explaining geology. It felt like quitting smoking. His brain screamed, "Correct them. They're wrong." He'd literally bite his tongue. Some days he failed and slipped, then apologized immediately. But most days he won. And something wild happened. People started talking to him more, laughing more, inviting him places. His new girlfriend said after 3 months, "I've never felt safer with anyone." That almost broke him again, in a good way. He made it a game. Every time he felt the urge to correct someone, he'd ask himself one question. Does this actually matter? Or do I just want to feel smart? 99% of the time, the answer was the second one. So he shut up. He started saying stuff like, "Cool, tell me more," instead of "actually." People lit up when he did that. A year later, his life looked nothing like before. Ethan calls him every week just to chat, no fights. Mom says family dinners are fun again. He's dating an incredible girl who says she loves how chill he is. Work gave him a leadership role because people actually want to be on his team now. He sleeps 8 hours. No more jaw pain. No more drinking to shut his brain up. He still knows a ton of random facts. That part didn't disappear. But now he only uses them when someone asks, or to help, never to win. He says letting go of being right was like dropping a 50-pound backpack he didn't know he was carrying. If you catch yourself correcting people all the time or feeling that itch to prove you're smarter, try this tonight. Write on a sticky note, "Relationship, being right," and stick it where you'll see it every day. Next time you feel the urge to drop a "well, actually," stop, smile, and say nothing. Or say, "That's interesting, I never thought of it that way." Do it for 1 week and watch how people start treating you differently. Being right feels good for 10 seconds. Being connected feels good forever. Noah still has that note on his mirror 2 years later. Some weeks he doesn't need it. Some weeks he reads it 10 times a day. Either way, he never picks up that backpack again. Watch the next story about the girl who ended 10 years of anxiety with one sentence she said out loud in her car.